This is MC Tone from the 757 Spin Number the Truth. Back to y'all with another video. And today I'm gonna be talking about the Arizona Cardinals, their previous season and how they did in the 21-22 season. They did pretty good. They finished with a record of 11-6. Cliff Kingsbury and that crew, they had an ugly finish to the season after a great start. They were leading the division. It looked like they were a heavy Super Bowl favorite contender until Kyler Murray went down with that high ankle sprain, and it seemed like he never got right. And then they lost a huge injury with DeAndre Hopkins on top of that, and he was out for the playoff game. And we know how that playoff game went. They lost to the now Super Bowl winning champs in the Los Angeles Rams. Now let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals more specifically and what probably went wrong during the season. We know Kyler Murray. He's been hurt. He's been hurt these last two couple of seasons with durability issues. He had a great start to the season. He was looking like a runaway MVP favorite candidate, and he got hurt. And Colt McCoy stepped up. He did a great job, but down that stretch, it seemed like Kyler Murray never got right after that. Um, the only game they won that 5 game stretch during the game, the last part of that season was against the Cowboys, and they never got right ever since. During that playoff game, Kyler Murray, he looked like he was just a little too big. That moment was a little bit too big for him. He was lost. He seemed like he didn't know what to do out there. He was making turnovers that we don't usually see a guy like a Kyler Murray make. But for all the criticism that he was giving, I do think he is better than what we've seen. He did not have DeAndre Hopkins. And people don't understand how big that DeAndre Hopkins loss was. He's clearly the best offensive weapon they had. That's like Matthew Stafford if he would have lost Cooper Kupp. That's how big of a deal that tandem is. That's a Drew Brees to Michael Thomas combo. Those are combos that that guy can give you 10 catches, and he can make difficult catches and then make them look easy. So not just having them, I will t- I will levy off the criticism off of Kyler Murray because I know he can be better, and I do expect the Arizona Cardinals to improve on their mistakes. They did add AJ Green, they did add JJ Watt, they did bring in some of these key free agents, and this is a team to me that still has a lot of potential. This team is still young, and I do think they have a smart head coach with Cliff Kingsbury who does do a good job. It's just towards the end of the season that they seem like they fall apart. And I do think they need to just do better at piecing along the season. And Kyler Murray needs to do a better job of staying healthy. Maybe slide a little bit more, learning how to protect himself against those hits. And it just makes me wonder how long he can last in this league. Now with the Kyler Murray drama situation, he deleted all his Cardinal pictures and stuff off his page, everything Arizona. I just think that was just a contract negotiations that's going to come that can turn ugly, but I don't think so because Kyler Murray, I do think they do believe in him. I just think this just comes down to where they feel what the numbers might come to. He might be looking between the $40 and $50 million range, and I think the Arizona Cardinals don't want to pay a guy who they don't know if he might stay healthy or how long he might stay healthy or how long his career might last, or he's probably one big hit away from a career-ending injury. And I think Kyler Murray, I do believe in that he can stay healthy. I just do think they need a better job of ensuring the offensive line because I do think the offensive line was lagging this year. But I do believe it was just needs to be better communication between the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray in order for that team to move forward and have a better offseason. Some of the free agents they do got coming up on the team is James Conner. James Conner did play a huge role. That team in that running game, it was really impressive. Actually, it finished top 10 in the league with James Conner and Chase Edmonds. They made a great combo, and James Conner, like I said, he had a great stretch during the end of the season and during the mid part of the season. He was probably one of the best running backs in the league after Derrick Henry got hurt. He definitely took over, and he was definitely a key part of Arizona's offense. And I do think they would love to have him back, along with Chase Edmonds, who's also a free agent. AJ Green and Christian Kirk are also free agents, so they are leaving. They do have a lot of guys who are on the offensive side of the ball that have contracts coming up, including Zach Ertz, who they've traded for in Philadelphia, who was a great pickup for them. And I think they would love to have somebody like a Zach Ertz come back to be that safety blanket for somebody like a Kyler Murray. And they have their guard Max Garcia coming up for a free agent. So they do have a lot of options that they need to look at in terms of where they need to spend their money. And also a huge loss might be for Chandler Jones, because Chandler Jones was looking for a contract extension with the Arizona Cardinals, and playing the way he did last season, he's still one of the best edge rushers in this league. So it's interesting to see if Arizona is going to try to put maybe franchise somebody like a Chandler Jones, who is easily the best pass rusher on the team, or they're going to slap the tag on him, or they're going to negotiate a contract with him. So it's going to be very interesting. They do have a lot of options. Kyler Murray's extensions. You got a lot of guys in unrestricted free agency right now. They have options, man. And this is the Arizona team right now that feels like they lost out. They feel like this was their year. They made moves, picking up AJ Green, especially in J.J. Watt in the offseason. They felt like this was their time. And for a moment, it did look like their time was now. But this still is this is still a young team. They still got a Trent Murphy, who I think is playing good on the defense side of the ball. You got Buda Baker, who's still good. Isaiah Simmons, he's still a young piece. I do think they expect more out of him, but I still think he can be a good player in this league. This is a team that's still pretty good. It's coming back with DeAndre Hopkins. I do believe Kyler Murray is going to come back. I do think they're going to try to re-sign one of the two, Chase Edmonds and James Conner, and try to bring back Christian Kirk. But this is a team that's going to probably retool. I still think it's going to be one of the best teams in NFC West. They do have to find how to deal with the Los Angeles Rams, but this is a team that's hungry. I do believe in Arizona Cardinals will get better. It's just interesting to see the pickups that they need to have. And I think they coming into the draft, I do think they need to add depth on the defensive line. The wide receiver position, the skill position, running back, and cornerback. And those are positions that they definitely need help at. Arizona, they're still a team. I think they come into this offseason, they still look pretty good. I think the Kyler Murray drama is going to be blown over by the time the offseason starts. And that's just my prediction on Arizona. I mean, my review on the offseason and their season. And Arizona, they did pretty good. This is still a young team. I do think they had deserved criticism, but some of the criticism is undeserved, especially knowing that this is Kyler Murray's first his first playoff game. And a lot of guys have stinkers in playoff games. Lamar had a stinker in his first playoff game. Peyton Manning was 0-8 in his first play. He was I think 0-8, 0-6, and we started 0-3, 0-4. He didn't win his first playoff game until year 4. So guys struggle sometimes in the playoffs. It takes a while because the game changes. It's more physical. You're playing against the top 6 team in the league. So knowing that he made the playoffs, he did develop over these last 3 seasons. He did pretty good. So I think Arizona has a bright future still. So this is MC Tone. Give me your thoughts, your opinions about the Cardinals. What do you think about them? Do you think about the Kyler Murray situation? Do you think they can build off of it, or do you think they're going to get rid of him? Would you re-sign Kyler Murray? Because I think I would re-sign him. I still think he's one of the best athletes in the quarterback position. I still think he has a great arm. So give me your thoughts, opinions. Tone out.